a worker to get over to this island. So I actually haven't seen this from a Zerg player yet. This is actually pretty smart, getting to this island where it's completely protected from anything except for air from the Protoss player. But as we can see, Huk is not going for air. He is going for Colossus, getting that robotics bay up, which is a smart move against these Hydralisks. They will just get torn up by Colossi, especially with the range upgrade, as we have an observer from LiquidHuk coming over here trying to spot these Hydralisks because there is actually no detection. They won't be able to see this observer, so we'll have complete vision, force fielding, trying to get these Hydras to stop from running away, just trying to take them out as best as he can. But as we know, Hydralisks are better than gateway units most of the time, but this is just excellent job by LiquidHuk being able to take out these Hydralisks here. Just there's nothing they could do. There weren't enough Hydralisks to be able to take out, but you can see half of LiquidHuk's force was taken out by that. Hatchery almost done from ZergKing. Huk is just running off of 2 bases. I'm surprised that he hasn't expanded yet. And he does not have that range upgrade. There's the range upgrade coming from LiquidHuk here. Let's go back to the production tab. Coming in the thermal lances, which of course gives the Colossi extra range with their thermal lances, as now we have roaches coming out for ZergKing. Roaches and Hydras, an excellent combination against gateway units, as they are pumping into this Nidus canal. Probably going to pop out here to take out this Colossus, which is probably ventured up a little too close. Oh, but as we see here, are they going to pop out? Are they going to pop out? And no, he is not going to pop out those roaches and hydras. Probably could have taken out that Colossi had he done that, but LiquidHuk is just... Oh, look at this. There was a drop in the back of LiquidHuk's base. That's why he pulled them off. I can't believe I didn't see that on the minimap, but actually brilliant move by ZergKing, getting his forces out of the Nidus Canal right now, going back to the main base. Maybe he's going to try a frontal attack soon, but... At this point, Huk is just completely at a disadvantage because he's only on 2 bases. The Zerg is on a 3rd base, but the income tab is still even. But since LiquidHuk cannot distribute his workers evenly like ZergKing can, he's going to run out eventually. There's nothing unless he expands, there's not much he can do about that. I mean, I'd like to see him take the high yield here, maybe if he could just get his units to really defend it very well, or expand over here to this base or this natural, or even get these over here, as we see pylons coming up everywhere in this base. Maybe Huk was going to take this one, or he just wanted to have vision to see if ZergKing was going to expand to there, as we have the spine crawlers now coming out into the middle of the field. It's a pretty sizable force from both players. Let's look at the units tab at 19 stalkers against 41 roaches and 2 hydralisks. Oh my goodness, that's it? Well, roaches are excellent, especially against this kind of unit composition, even though the Colossi, ooh, nice placement by the Colossi up on the top there. They could just get back without vision. They won't really be able to attack these units, or these units won't be able to attack those Colossi. So just poking in with this Colossi, trying to do some damages. Now we have Corruptors coming out. Now this is just deadly. Absolutely deadly to any Protoss player, really. I mean, this is an excellent ball by a Zerg. There are a whole bunch of roaches, couple hydras. I mean, the hydras are kind of just left over, but roaches and corruptors are completely deadly against a Stalker Zealot Sentry Colossi build. There's almost nothing a Protoss can do about it, unless they get a bunch more Stalkers, maybe some Phoenixes or some Void Rays to focus down these corruptors. Which, where did that army go? Let's see here. Yeah, it would be probably best just to get some air to be able to focus these down, but if you can focus them down with the stalkers too, that's just as good. But as we can see, Huk's still only on 1 base as he's preoccupied with this force here, and oh my goodness, these corruptors are just going to take out these colossi. As we see one drop, the second one's about to drop. These roaches are taking out the stalkers too fast for the corruptors to even be less effective there. Look, as we can see, it's down to his last colossi. The Zerg force is being taken out. Oh wow, and Huk actually survived this. I thought maybe he wouldn't have had that much of a chance, but as we can see, he has the +1 attack, whereas ZergKing has no upgrades. Now Huk is going to push this attack here. It's probably a good idea. There's no more corruptors on the field, and look at the production tab. Where is that? He does have a couple coming out, but it might not be enough at this point. The stalkers are moving in here, just letting the colossi take out the spine crawlers as long as they don't move back. This base is nice and saturated up here for ZergKing, and I think that Huk actually did spot that. Yes, he did spot that with his observer a while ago, I'm sure. As still nothing here as we look at ZergKing's God Burrow now. Let's look at everybody's tab there. Just using this colossi to pick off these spine crawlers as best as he can. ZergKing is moving them back and moving them back into his base as we have some more hydras coming out, some roaches. And it looks like that LiquidHuk may be able to pull this win off, even though ZergKing is on a couple more bases. As these zealots move in here, they are just getting ripped apart by these hydras and these roaches, as LiquidHuk has to back off from this force because that is just very, very powerful against zealots and stalkers, with these roaches in front and the hydras in back doing so much damage because they have such high DPS. Where is that observer? Huk needs that observer in order to see these burrowed units, but that's okay because they already popped out. They can attack now. Looks about like the same battle as before, a couple corruptors. It looks like Huk has to back off from this. There's just too many roaches and hydras. He needs to back off a little bit faster, get those colossi back before they get destroyed. There's one really low health, no shields on this one. This one's getting pretty low as he warps in more stalkers, but there's just too many roaches and hydras, and LiquidHuk GG's from the game, and it looks like ZergKing was able to pull off the win just with excellent unit composition here with the roaches, hydras, and a couple of lings coming in at the end there, but just being able to counter LiquidHuk's force for the most part. I mean, I know that Huk was able to hold off that one attack, but just running on two bases here, as you can see, Huk wouldn't have been able to survive that much longer without expanding, but he had to use so much of his resources to rebuild his army because he was being taken out by the Zerg that he wouldn't have been able to expand very well. And I think that if he tried to expand, he definitely would have lost this game. At that point where they traded armies, they're sort of the Zerg traded his army for taking out most of Huk's forces before, including those colossi, which are so expensive it's terrible to lose them, was what lost Huk the game. He didn't have the money to refund his forces, whereas ZergKing's his main was almost mined out. His natural was getting pretty close. As you can see, there's just not a lot of minerals here left. About well, some of them have only 300, some have 400, some 700. But he still had this third base, which had plenty of minerals, about 1,000 for each. Could have expanded over here, even with these. Well, there was a zealot here, probably couldn't have expanded. In fact, I think that drone's gone now. But he could have expanded elsewhere and gotten the edge on Huk even more with the economy. But it came down to a macro style game. It was a good game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next cast. Have a nice night, day, whatever it is for you guys. I'm out.